All right, so we're here at Big Daddy Guns, and we're gonna show you guys a few things on how gun store etiquette works, or at least should work. And a lot of the times when you come into the store, you really don't know how to handle the gun, where to point the gun, and we're gonna help you with that. So first, we're gonna show you how to take a gun from a store clerk. More likely what they're gonna do is they're going to clear the gun for you, make sure and inspect that the gun is safe, and they're gonna hand it to you in a safe manner where they're not pointing at anybody else or themselves. And so the customer, or at least you, should be able to pick up the gun with a good firm grip and have the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. If you don't know where that is, always ask. So after you get the gun handed to you, you can inspect the gun yourself to make sure that the gun is empty. But we're always gonna assume that the guns are always loaded for the simple fact that we wanna still be safe. So after he takes a look at the gun, he can look at the gun, turn it around, and see what everything looks like, how it feels in their hand. Just when you're doing that, the biggest important thing is to make sure that when you're twisting and turning the gun, that you're aware of which way the gun is facing and who is there and what is there. All right, so don't just flip it around and point it at people. So after he's done inspecting the gun, if he wants to give it back to me, there's a couple different ways that we can do it. You'll probably be instructed to put it back onto the counter or hand it back to the clerk. And so what they're gonna do is, if I were to take the gun from him, I would just reach over, grab the side of the gun, and then take it myself, inspect it again, make sure it's clear, and we'll stick it back into the counter, okay? So a lot of the times, you're not really sure what kind of guns to pick up and play with and stuff like that. There's all different kinds of sizes. So the best thing to do is on the next episode, episode 1, where we teach you how to build your grip. That'll help you kind of figure out what guns feel like in your hand and what guns actually fit better, because a lot of the times people think that grabbing it in one hand, tossing it up in the air like it's a toy, will tell them exactly what kind of gun that they should have. That's completely wrong. You want to make sure that you're able to get a good grip on the gun and you like the way that it feels, that you can operate everything, the slide and all that stuff. So always ask questions if you don't know what to do, especially when it comes to the safety aspect of everything. Another real important thing about gun store etiquette is how to bring guns in the store if you already own them. So let's say you want to bring the gun in because you want them to inspect what's wrong with it, or you're thinking of maybe trading it in or consigning it, something like that. Keep the guns in the car or where they originally were. If you're concealed carrying the gun, you can conceal carry into most stores. Just make sure that you ask the store clerk if it's okay to unload the gun in the store. Most likely they're gonna tell you no, and you'll have to go back to your car and unload the gun there. The best option, if you were to bring a gun into the store after you've gotten permission, is bring it in a case or a gun bag. So that's gonna be a lot safer than just carrying a gun into the store and just freaking everybody out. So we'll try to keep it a little bit more covert, and that way when they take the gun or the gun box or the bag, they'll be able to open it up and inspect it if they happen to want to do that themselves. Or they'll instruct you how to open the gun, and then they'll be able to check the gun to see if it's unloaded. So just big rule of thumb, don't just walk into a gun store with guns. No matter if you've seen it before at the same gun store, it's always better that if they don't know you, they're probably gonna freak out if you walk into the gun store with one without permission. So just to recap, make sure you're being safe, following the 4 cardinal rules of firearm safety, ask a bunch of questions, and be safe.